Hi everybody, it's Mark here. I wanted to come on and talk about my latest tarot obsession, and that is getting into the color scales of the tarot devised by the Golden Dawn. My little window into that world is this tarot and book set, Golden Dawn Magical Tarot. Comes with a really great book with lots of information and a tarot deck that has been colored to the appropriate associations as per the Golden Dawn. And I haven't seen another deck out there. I know there's other Golden Dawn decks out there, but they've just not really hit the color scale quite as accurately as they do in this deck. So if color is important to you, and if using a deck that uses the correct colors, that is correct if you're into Golden Dawn decks, and that actually includes the RWS and Thoth. They're both derived from Golden Dawn members. The Marseille is exempt from this color scale theory. So I thought I would just show you what the color scales are, some examples from the three decks I just mentioned, and how their passes or fails, or maybe didn't even make the attempt on getting the color scales right. So let me just show you this page here. So it's from this book, and it just gives you the appropriate colors for the wands, cups, swords, and pentacles in a 1 to 10 scale, which is ace through 10 as we see the minor cards. So you might want to do a screenshot of that and you can see what's what. And the other thing, there's this color scale also for the majors, and that can be seen in full color. This is the Kabbalistic Tarot by Robert Wang, really great book. So these pathways, that's the Fool, the Magician, or vice versa, because the camera's reversed. And so you see the appropriate color assignment on these lines for the majors. These colors are considered, so these are considered king scale colors or wand colors. That's what that color scale comes from, that. The cups or queen scale colors are the colors of the Sephiroth that you see on this tree. So in this case, and in only this case, you will see all the colors that were assigned to the cup suit, because the queen scale is the cup suit. If you hear noise in the background, that's my cat having the zoomies. So in other words, this is ace, so there should be brilliant white on the ace in the cups. The two of cups should have black in it somewhere, hopefully prominent. Then we go gray for the three. Sorry, this is two. Again, it's reversed. The two is gray. The threes are black. The fours are blue. The fives are red. The sixes are yellow. The sevens are green. The eights are orange. The nines are purple. And then there's these Malkuth colors down here for the tens. And that can be some combination of citrine, russet, olive, and black. But as I showed you, so again, these colors here in the Sephiroth, if you read the description, now where did it go, that I just held up, you will see that under the queen scale, let me see if I can get that right. So where my finger is the queen scale. Those colors will be seen here for each of those numbers. But the other suits have different colors, as you saw from that chart. So if I can just show you one more chart. these then are the path colors that I showed you that correspond to the majors. So these are the colors that should be used in the majors, and they are seen on this chart. Okay, all of that is to say, wouldn't it be great if there was a tarot that showed the right colors, or right according to the Golden Dawn? There's no right or wrong, just if you accept their system, you would like to see it fully played out in your deck of cards. At least I would. Let me take a look at these scales again, just so I can show you. I'm just going to show you some examples from each of those three decks I mentioned, the RWS, the Thoth, and this Golden Dawn Magical Tarot that I have here. Okay, let me just get back here. So, the Hermit should be greenish yellow according to this book, and we don't, on the RWS, really, we see some yellow in the lantern and the rod, but it's not really what I would consider greenish yellow. It's a gray, blue-gray is the dominant thing that's going on in this card as far as I can tell. Now, I have to say that printing in the early 1900s maybe couldn't encompass these color scales that are quite extensive. So I'm not blaming anyone for not putting the colors in there, but you should just know they're not there. So that greenish yellow, we're getting closer to it with the Thoth Hermit. But with this Golden Dawn Magical Tarot, you can see the exact color that they were going for. That is a very limey kind of green, hints of yellow. So let's look at the Death card. So the Death card is a green-blue that we're meant to be seeing. And I only see, my cat is really being a pest now. She's moving the iPad. Yeah, I see blue here. I don't see green-blue. And I imagine greenish blue might have been available back then. We see the Death card in the Thoth, and it has a certain bluish-green coloration in the background there with the waves and the fish. But then, once again, the Golden Dawn, this is very much, I don't know if it will come across on the computer, but it is, that background is very greenish blue. So one more major to look at. That's the moon. And the moon is a crimson ultraviolet, so-called. So absolutely none of that going on here. Maybe the crab or the lobster or whatever that is. In the Thoth deck, I imagine it's this sort of bloody line here. I don't really see a little bit up here, but I don't really see an overview of this crimson violet. But wow, I love this color of the sky in this moon card from the Golden Dawn, and that is obviously crimson ultraviolet kind of vibe going for it. Okay, so you know, total fail with the RWS for reasons we may not know of, printing reasons. Pretty good effort with the Thoth cards, but I don't see the color as dominating as it should, and really good with the majors. So let's go back to the minors, which I find really interesting. Let me see if I can get the chart that, yeah, this is probably the bigger printing. So I pulled out some sixes just so you can see. So if you look at the sixes on this chart, you'll see that the Six of Wands is meant to be clear pink rose. Again, no pink. I don't think there's any pink anywhere in the deck. And again, pink and violet may be an issue for this printing. We leaning more towards violet here, but you can, imagine that it's kind of got pink happening to a degree. Clear pink rose is so called. But here in this one, you see the pink behind the green hands and the red wands and the red background. There's that pinky kind of orb happening there. And I should say that the thing about this particular deck is the Golden Dawn also liked flashing colors, and that means complementary colors on the same card so that they really pop and sort of pull you in and help you to meditate and path walk or whatever it is you're doing, path work. So all the wands have dominant red with green flashing color, because on the complementary color wheel, those are opposites, and all the cups are blue, and then they have complementary orange accents. All the swords are yellow with violet accents, and then the discs are more of a mix-up of those citrine, black, olive, russet colors I talked about in Malkuth. So I just wanted to let you know that's part of what's going on in this deck as well, which is not going on in either of the other decks. So what then is the Six of Cups? The Six of Cups, color-wise, should be yellow gold. So that was achievable here, so no complaints. Very much seen here in the Thoth card, and very gold here in the Golden Dawn deck. Swords is looking for a salmon color, and I don't know if she meant this to be salmon or she was just using brown. I really don't know. I don't really see salmon in this one. I see more gold yellow than salmon. And here we have the salmon. So once again, swords are predominantly yellow with purple flashing colors, and then the color assigned according to the scale. And this is the Prince scale, or the Swords scale. And that's kind of salmon-y. And I'll just show you the pentacle. I think we'll do 4. So number 4 pentacle for fire is, oh, hang on, no, for 4, it's deep azure flecked yellow. So it's a lot going on there. Deep yellow, deep azure flecked yellow. So no sign of that there. I guess that Lady Frieda Harris just didn't want to do it with this particular one. But here in the Golden Dawn, we see the deep azure flecked yellow. Sorry, I just have to get rid of the cat. Say hello. All right, so, and let me show you the 10. This is where things really go off the rails for the RWS and the Thoth. The 10 is interesting. The 10 of Cups I'm going to use, and I'll show you the 10s across all of these decks. So the 10 of Cups is supposed to be, according to the Queen scale, the Cup scale, the Water scale, citrine, olive, russet, black. So it's supposed to bring in those Malkuth colors, and I don't really see, I mean, there's black there. Maybe this is olive, citrine-ish. Not really sure if she was going for that or if these are just the colors that were available to her. This looks a bit rusted, so maybe she's trying to get that going. This one, there's no sign of any of those colors from Malkuth. That's the Thoth. And then in the Golden Dawn, they've given you the full russet, citrine, olive, and black, along with the blue because it's water cups, and the orange accents for the flashing colors. So that gives you sort of an idea of what's going on. I think, just as an aside, I think with Lady Frieda Harris, I think she was doing something else with the minors. She wasn't following the color scales per se for cups, wands, etc., as I showed you. I think she was doing something that is also really interesting, and I think may have been encouraged. So if the Six of Cups is the Sun in Scorpio, I think she's used the Sun card colors and the Scorpio card colors to create this. So you see the sort of greeny blue water down here, and then you see the goldy orangey cups up here. And I think that's mostly what she did in terms of following the scales. So her minors weren't using the scales per suit. She was more using the decan information and taking the majors that associated with that and pulling those two colors together. So just like we saw Sun in Scorpio, the Sun and the Death card. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap it up quickly now. They even did something very innovative in the quartz in the new Golden Dawn deck that I got, and I don't think this was necessarily assigned by Golden Dawn members. I think it was their innovation, the Ciceros who created the deck, but I think it's a great one. So anyway, the Knights are fire of water. The Knight of Cups would be fire of water. So we should see oranges and blues, and there's a little bit of that going on there. We're seeing blues and oranges here, so that's good. And here we very much see blues and orange flashing, but the background is the fascinating thing, because they have incorporated the fact that, and in this deck the knights and kings are the same, because in the Golden Dawn it says the kings are on horseback, which explains why there are knights in the king position in the Thoth deck. So that clears that up. And the princes in the Thoth deck are actually equivalent to the kings in the RWS. Something I've argued forever, but nobody listens to me, and why should they? So anyway, beyond having the appropriate cup color, blue, and flashing color, orange, because all knights are fire, or kings as they're called here, what they've done is they've taken the fire color, red, and added it to the water color, blue, and we've got a purple background to show that. So the card comes up and we know there's some fire in this guy because we've got purple back there. So I don't have the Queen of Cups handy, but she's all blue and orange because there's no mitigating factor. She's water of water. Here's another example of another cup guy. So also, this is the prince or king in the RWS. And we've got the blue, and of course we've got the orange, just like we had in this card. But because princes are air, or kings are air, we get yellow because we are adding yellow and blue. So they take the primary color, and then they take the primary color of the element that the court designation is under, and they add them together and they get another color. So you would find, so if this is air of water, then you would look for water of air in the deck, and that would be the Queen of Swords. And yes, sure enough, I don't have it handy, but she has a green background as well, because it's blending those two same elements. Anyway, I thought that, oh, and just so you can see that this is the equivalent in the RWS, and that's the equivalent in the Thoth. So I just thought I'd come on and show you my latest obsession at keeping me up at night. And I hope you found that interesting and informative, and I'll see you next time. Bye.